Hey everybody, so it's official that I am probably the worst video blogger around. Every time I make a video I say that I'm sorry that it's been so long since my last video. And again, I'm going to say it, I'm sorry it's been so long since my last video. For those of you who follow me and been watching my videos, um, thank you for sticking around and hanging out until I post my next one, like 5 months at a time, it seems like. But anyway, so the reason there's been a big gap from my last video to this one was because there's just been so much information and so much change on a regular basis in regards to our foster care placement and all that entails. And there's a lot of things that we have to be careful about. Because there's lots of things that you're not allowed to share publicly or talk about, and I've just been a little bit nervous to post anything because I've been hearing different stories about people who said something innocently on some social media site and then got in trouble and their placement was either removed from their house or their license was revoked for fostering. So anyways, I've just been kind of cautious. So I think I'm kind of in the safe zone now to share some things. There's still information that I can't share, but and some information I may never share, but there's definitely some exciting stuff to share with you guys. So I'm just going to do a quick recap for anybody who hasn't ever watched my videos. And sorry, my hair's driving nuts. For anybody who hasn't ever watched my videos, I'll do a quick little recap of everything so that you guys can follow without having to go back and watch all of them before watching this one. But I do encourage you to still go back and watch them if you've ever dealt with infertility or considering foster care or adoption, because I talk a lot about all that stuff. So anyways, recap. Okay, I started this a couple years ago talking about infertility and what makes things more difficult about infertility, like silly questions that people will ask you, like, have you considered, I don't know, drinking green tea? That's what worked for me, you know, I don't know, something silly like that. And so the video covers random things like that that just are hard and frustrating when you're officially dealing with infertility and people, well-meaning, are trying to help, but it really just kind of hurts you worse or just frustrates you more because people don't understand. So, and then we had another time where we had a potential to adopt, and it would have been a private adoption, I think that's what it would have been called officially, where we were gonna, like we had started the whole process to get our adoption certification and get a lawyer and all that, and we actually, for a year of that time, we're living in Ohio, so we were starting it there, even though we're actually from Arizona and I'm now back in Arizona. So I'm trying not to make this too long, but still want to share important details. So, okay, so I had started doing videos about that process of getting all the adoption paperwork done and how long it is and how difficult it is. And then during that process, we moved back to Arizona and we took a break because my husband started a brand new job, his dream job at the church we actually grew up at and met at. He's now the youth director there. So that's been a really cool thing. That's a whole nother thing I could talk about. But I won't go off on a tangent. I'll try and focus. So, okay, where was I? I do this all the time. Okay, adoption certification. We put it on hold. And when we waited a couple months, several months, I think at least 6 months before even considering doing anything. We did a lot of prayer and asking God what He wanted us to do, and basically, long story short, we came to the conclusion that we wanted to do foster care, and knowing that getting into it, that we couldn't go into it hoping that we only would go into it to adopt, because these children that are in foster care, you know, there are children that are adoptable, but for the most part, you know, these children are coming into care because of something their parents are struggling with, abuse, neglect, addiction, And the hope is that they go into foster care while their parents work on those things, and the government and the state will provide different care to the parents to work on that, counselors and rehab and things like that. And the foster parents' role is to just be a safe, loving home for them until their parents are better and they can reunify. But so there was a lot of hesitation before we went into it. I had a lot of fear, knowing that I've dealt with infertility and just wanting to be a mother. It was kind of seemed like a bad idea at first to go into foster care because I was afraid my heart would be broken and that I would fall in love with a child or a baby that was placed with us and then they'd be taken away. And but like I said, we prayed about it and we had a lot of people in our church encouraging us and talking to us about it. And we just realized that, whatever God wanted would happen and that we can't mess up his plan for us and for the child he had for us to be with us as our forever child. And so we felt like, let's do foster care because we can love children, we can be that family for them while they're away from their home. And, we eventually at some point would probably come across a situation where a child or a baby would become adoptable, and then we'd embrace that and adopt them, and then our family would, start to really take form. And so we went for it, and 2 days after our license came through, we got a call about a little baby boy who was still in the hospital coming out of the NICU, and he needed a home, and they had no idea. A lot of information that we asked, they had no idea, no answers for us, and we just had to say yes or no, and we said yes. And I think it was like 30 minutes later they called us back and said that they picked us as placement because they inform other families that kind of match that child and they're from like the paperwork we filled out and stuff, and they said, we don't know if this will be foster care only situation or what, we can't say, but we know he needs a home. So we went and we picked him up from the hospital, and he was like the most perfect baby in the world. And at this point, he was about 2.5 weeks old, but beautiful, perfect, despite all the things that he has dealt with in the womb and all that. He was just beautiful. And like I said, he had spent about 2.5 weeks in NICU, so there was some stuff that he definitely went through. But anyways, it just was so... it was a really surreal experience. Like, it took me a couple of days to really process the fact that we had this baby and that the future was so unknown and we had no idea what was going to happen, but that this baby was beautiful and we loved him already. And just like I said, we just prayed and prayed and prayed and said, God, whatever you want with this child is yours. If you want this child to go back home at some point, reunify with his family, then we're going to trust that that's what's best and that's your plan. If you want us to adopt, then we'll gladly adopt because we already love this child. And I'll try and make a video more on details of that because there's a lot to share with what has happened, because I think the last video I posted, he was like 2 months maybe, and he is now 10.5 months, so that's a long time. And a lot has happened, a lot. There's been lots of court dates, lots of ups and downs, lots of uncertainties, lots of prayer, encouragement, and support. Thankfully, we've had a really overall amazing experience with support. I know there's a lot of drama and a lot of negativity about people's experiences with the foster care system on both sides. And it's true, there's lots of stuff that goes wrong and it's not a perfect system. There's a lot of brokenness that they're working on fixing, and it has improved each year, but there's still a lot. But thankfully, we've been blessed with a great experience, lots of wonderful people, wonderful lawyers, wonderful caseworkers, just judges. Everybody has been really on top of things and really caring and truly cares about our foster son. So, what I'll do, because this will kind of help also catch you up, is I have an Instagram that I post a lot of kind of creative angles of our foster son. because I can't post his face, otherwise I'd be showing you him right here. But I'll post the Instagram link right there, and then you can go check that out, and you can kind of get an idea. Like, it's just pictures of like kind of the side of his face with a little bit of his eyes showing, or the back of his head, or videos of just his hands and mouth eating. Just trying to be creative to share him with the world without sharing too much of his identity. So although in some states I guess you're allowed to post video and pictures of their face, but in Arizona that's not allowed, so we've honored that. Anyways, so to get to the good part, a couple months ago we had a really important court hearing, and basically, keep it short and sweet, is, I'm like getting all emotional already thinking about it. Basically, they told us that we are going to be able to adopt our son, and we couldn't be happier. We love him as if I had given birth to him. Like, I can't describe that feeling because I was so afraid that I wouldn't feel that, and all this fears and doubts going into this kind of blindly. But honestly, for any of you that are out there considering it, I'm not saying you're going to get to adopt the child or children that are placed with you. Each situation is different. But don't doubt your ability to love a child just because they aren't a child that is yours biologically, because we have loved this baby and will continue to now forever and always get to have this child with us as our son. And we love him, like I said, as if I had given birth to him. It's no different. And obviously, yes, I haven't given birth, so somebody might be saying, how do you know? But I just know because I would do anything for him and protect him. I have, all the things that pregnant women talk about, or women that are new mothers, the mommy brain, or just like the mommy sense where like I know something's wrong, or I know what he's feeling, what he needs. It's just like, it just happened, and I'm just so thankful to God because I give him all the glory, because I believe that this was his plan and he already knew it. And honestly, when I look back, I think we had a failed adoption at one point that I think I skipped that in the story, sorry, but that's when we were in Ohio. We had started paperwork for that and it didn't end up happening. The mother had changed her mind, and other situations happened that, all the infertility for years and all that, like, I'm thankful for it, which I never ever thought that I would get to a point where I felt like I could say I'm thankful for the infertility and that pain, because it seems crazy to say that, but the reason why I am, and I know my husband is as well, is because it got us to our son that we're getting to adopt. And it got us to that point where he is ours and we love him, and I wouldn't trade any of it. I wouldn't go back at all. If somebody asked, would you go back now, and if you could, not struggle with infertility, would you do that? And I would definitely say no, because then I wouldn't have our son that we're in the process of adopting right now, and I love him. And so it's been really an amazing experience, and this video is getting kind of long, so I'll try and keep it short, and I'll try to post some more videos about more of like personal rather than just like recaps. But anyways, I just want to thank all of you guys, because there's so many people out there that I know have been encouraging me, have been praying for me, and it's just so cool to know that, I can have this connection with people around the world. Being here on YouTube, I mean, how cool is that? And if you have any questions or comments or concerns, or you just want to talk, or you're considering foster care adoption, feel free to message me, or you've dealt with infertility or dealing with it, just message me, and I would love to talk to you. I'm all about using our painful experiences to help others in life. I really think that, that's the best way to use them, rather than to dwell on them. Let them be empowering and motivate you to care for others who are dealing with similar things. So anyways, like I said, just thank you guys so much. There's no official adoption date set yet. We're waiting for the courts to set that, but all of our license is in, our paperwork is all in. It's literally just waiting for the courts to pick a date. So we're hoping that it's sometime this summer. His birthday's in July, his first birthday, which I cannot believe. And he's super healthy, by the way. Hit all of his milestones, if not on time, early. Today he literally took his first steps. And then, of course, when I tried to pull out the camera to video him, he wouldn't do it. But he did this morning. He walked to me about 4 steps, and it was the cutest thing I've ever seen. And so, anyways, we're hoping that his adoption date is sometime in the near future. They said it's supposed to happen this summer, and I hope it does. And when that happens, we will post a video collage of everything that has happened this last like 10 months since we've had him, videos and pictures, and I'll try and create some kind of collage for you guys to see him, because he's just the most beautiful boy in the whole world, and he's the sweetest boy in the whole world, and happy and giggly and just has a goofy little personality. He definitely knows he's funny. So anyways, I will go now because this video is getting too long, and I never know how to end these things because I keep saying thank you and thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyways, okay, thank you. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.